shit, I've got a leak. Hey guys, welcome back to Nat One Videos. Today I'm going to be talking about the problems that I encountered with my epoxy resin pour on my Stranger Things diorama. The video that I made kind of makes it look like everything went really smoothly, but it didn't. And during that whole period of time, I was updating my Patreon members with the problems that I was getting. So I kind of stitched together those updates for you guys so that you can see those problems and maybe you can avoid some of the issues that I had on my epoxy resin pour. Now these updates were being filmed in a dark mode because that's the atmosphere I was going for in my video, and I also wasn't wearing a microphone, so apologies for that, but the information is there and I hope you guys enjoy it. Hey guys, so this is a totally different kind of update than I normally do, because this is a going back in time update, because hopefully if everything has gone to plan, this project is now on YouTube. This is the Stranger Things project with Steve Harrington getting sucked into the Watergate upside down. I painted the mini, I put the base together, I stuck the acrylic on the outside, or the stuff, plexiglass, and it's all ready to pour the resin, but I am crapping myself about pouring the resin. If this resin pour goes badly, the whole project's screwed, and it's the deepest resin pour that I've ever done. I don't even know if I've done proper resin pours before. I've done like less than a centimeter deep. This is like nearly 6 inches deep. So problems that could occur, and I have to decide what to do. If I put too much resin in and don't take precautions, it can have an exothermic reaction, which is basically you've got too much resin, it heats up and it causes loads of weird bubbles and cracks and stuff, which would be terrible. I don't want that to happen. And discoloring. One way to get around that is to pour your resin in different layers. Now the problem with that is that I want to tint the resin kind of blue color. I know water's not blue according to Luke from Geek Gaming Scenics, but it is for this project, because if you watch the movie, whenever they're in the middle of the night and it's down in the dark, you've got the red and everything else is a bluey grey color, so I kind of want the water to be this blue colors with the red light coming up from underneath. So the problem is that if I mix different batches of resin, I might get a slightly different color tint, and then you end up with this layered colored effect, which I really don't want. I want it to be one solid color the whole way up. So the way to do that, apparently according to Neil from Real Terrain Hobbies, who has given me a little bit of advice over this last week, he said you can tint your part A of your epoxy resin, meaning that you have the exact same tint, and then you only cure it as you go for each pour. Now the other problem is that Luke from Geek Gaming Scenics did a little pour and he got some bubbles on the top of his first pour. Like even a couple of little bubbles will create a line around the edge, again creating the layer effect. So 2 or 3 different problems that could happen with these lines going up. So the other option is to try and pour it all in one go. The resin that I have got is supposed to be a deeper pour resin, but it recommends only pouring up to 5 centimeters. So that's up to about there, which is about half of where I want to pour to. So I've done lots more research on YouTube. I saw a couple of guys who put their projects into fridges to keep the temperature down. Another possibility is submerging this to a certain degree, up to about here, submerging it in a water bath and then blowing a fan over the top. So you're constantly moving the warm air away from the top of the project, cool air, and the water bath is going to leach out some of the temperature within the epoxy resin. Now, that's kind of where I'm going with it, because I want to do this in one pour. I'm totally aware that I might destroy this project that I worked really hard on, but I think that I'm going to risk it and I'm going to try and pour the whole thing in one go. I'm going to put it in a water bath and I'm going to blow a fan over the top of it. And hopefully, I am actually praying. Can you tell I'm really actually quite nervous? I've spent a lot of time on this project this week. Okay, let's talk this process through because I'm not going to be able to film as I go because I'm going to be concentrating really hard and I won't be able to explain stuff as I'm going. Okay, there's the project. I'm going to mix about 1 kilogram or so of resin. I'm going to tint it with some blue. I'm then going to use this drill, which I haven't got ready yet, to mix the resin. As soon as it's mixed, I'm going to let it sit for about 5 minutes and then I'm going to use this heat gun to try and pop as many bubbles off the top of it as I possibly can. Then hopefully it's going to be pretty bubble free. I'm going to move the project forward and I'm going to pour as thin stream as I can down into the project up to just above his hand. As soon as I've poured it, I am going to pull it down off the table and I'm going to lower it into this shallow water bath, which is in a bucket under the table directly under. And then I will add more water if I need to and it doesn't float. And then I'm going to get a fan and put a fan over it. And that's the plan. So I am going to take footage, a few angle shots, but I won't be able to talk and stuff like that there. So that's the plan. Hopefully this all went to plan and you guys get to see a really awesome project unfold. Hopefully. It'd be so nice if it wasn't a disaster. If it's a disaster, you know that I know that it could be a disaster. And I'm taking the risk anyway. So here we go. Shit, I've got a leak. I've got a leak. Okay, we've got drama. Okay guys, we've got a leak. I don't know what I'm going to do about it. But I need tissue and fast. Well, this is going to make a very entertaining video. How I destroyed my kitchen in one fell swoop. Tissue here. Okay. Okay, so this isn't going exactly to plan. Ah! Okay. This leak is an issue though. I've got a leak here. I've got my hot glue gun on standby so that as soon as I manage to, like I'm blocking the leak physically here at the minute. I don't want to lose too much resin. There's still a little bit in here that I can pour in actually. A little bit more. I've got a funny feeling that this project's not going to work, guys. But honestly, it's been really fun to try. If it doesn't work, hey, at least someone gets to see a disaster on YouTube. And I've tried to do this resin pour thing. I know the pour was too deep, but this is a problem with my casing. I've done it badly. So what I'm hoping is that I'll be able to wipe this away, like so. And get the hot glue in here. see. That works. Try and cool down the hot glue. Hello. My wife is now standing watching me.
It's good entertainment.
It is good entertainment, yeah, I'm sure. I'm currently trying to fix a leak, which is only one small leak. It's like a very, very small leak. And if I can fix it with the glue gun, we might be okay. Other than that,
the pour looks really good.
It looks amazing, but like it could be a disaster. Like there's still so many problems that this could have, like exothermic reaction because I poured too much resin. I've seen some people get away with it. I've seen other people not get away with it. It's just the drama right now. It's intense here, people. I think we've managed to contain the leak, guys. I'm really going to overkill this corner with hot glue. I might actually just redo all the joins of it. I believe the leak is no more. Bless you.
Those big bubbles aren't coming from the light section?
No, they're not coming from the light section. I can still see that the light section is good. And I actually quite like the bubbles that are there. I just wish they would come off the miniature a bit more. But there's not a lot we can do about that.
Those big bubbles. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did see that. I mean, if they're coming from down in there, there's nothing I can do about it ultimately, like.
No.
It's poured now, and if they are underneath in the recess, I'm a little bit screwed. So in an attempt to stop an exothermic reaction, I have a cold bath, and hopefully I can lift this down into this cold bath without spilling it everywhere. Let's go. Okay, so I've tried to create some barriers so that my daughter doesn't climb into it in the middle of the night. Oh, please don't climb into it in the middle of the night. And, ooh, got a fan running. The fan's probably blowing a bit too hard. Let's move that. But yeah, there's the fan there. It's all in a water bath. I'm trying to keep the temperature down so I don't get an exothermic reaction. We'll see what happens. Okay, good morning, Patron. So my resin has been sitting overnight. It hasn't gone perfectly, but it isn't a complete disaster. I mean, it's solidified, but there are bubbles. Okay, so you can see that there are bubbles inside and a little discoloring around the vine. Now, the thing is, I don't mind the bubbles around Steve Harrington because it looks like he's struggling through the water. And actually, I was previously trying to think of a way that I could get bubbles around him. That looks really cool to me. I think that suits the project. But these bubbles at the back here, now they're right close to the back. These bigger bubbles at the back, they're more of a problem. But there might be a solution for that whenever I pull this all apart. But I poured 3 times as much epoxy as you're supposed to, and I've managed to avoid a massive exothermic reaction by the use of a water bath and the fan. The bubbles have come from underneath the recess where the light's supposed to go. Basically, I didn't seal around the project well enough. So, lesson learned there. But not too bad. I think that I can rescue the bubbles at the back by, whenever I peel it off, I might be able to either drill and fill them. So let's see what I can do. Okay guys, continuation of this update with this resin pour adventure. So it's been about a week. I've left this curing for a week. I've just demolded it, and on the most part I'm quite happy with how the resin has turned out. It's turned out great, but there were some big bubbles on one side, which I can show you some close-up shots of, which are not acceptable. So I've been drilling away with my Dremel tool and a vacuum cleaner and my mask and everything, and I'm trying to fill it with UV resin, and it is 12 o'clock on Saturday night, and I really wanted to get this video out on Friday night because yesterday Stranger Things season 4 came out, and it would have been nice to do it on the day, but that's not happening. I basically decided not to go to bed tonight. Okay, so it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm drinking Red Bull just to stay awake to get this video done. You guys probably think I'm crazy, but when I get obsessed with a project, I have to do it. I have to do it, otherwise I'm gonna go crazy. I know this isn't healthy, but I won't do it on every project. I just want this one to go out.
3 hours later.
Daylight. So I have literally been sanding all night and it's still not done. Oh my goodness. So I'm not gonna get the video out today. Oh man, I tried so hard. But we're getting there. I'm not going to release the video this week. I'm going to release it next Sunday because I want to release it on a Sunday, but I really wanted to get out this weekend. I'm disappointed. Oh well, I'm going to go and get an hour's sleep before my daughter wakes up. Awesome. So there we go guys, lots of problems that you can now avoid in your own epoxy resin project. I hope it was useful information. This was a really cool project for me because I learned so much, and I'm hoping to avoid all of those issues in the future. I do actually have a big epoxy resin pour coming up, so I'm pretty excited about that. This was also a bit of an example on some Patreon updates that I do. So if you're interested, like all of these people at the bottom of the screen right now, you can come over to Patreon and check out. I kind of try and do updates like this. And also, you can still see this project here on YouTube by clicking this video here. Alright guys, I hope you got some good information and you enjoyed the video, and I'll hopefully see you next time for another build. Bye.